Hi, this is an Intimate Astrology report with Jen Waine, and I'm out by my creek. And I was wondering if you'd like to take a walk with me. So, I did not make an Intimate Astrology forecast last week. It was the new moon and it was conjunct Chiron, and a lot was coming up for me around my father, and it makes sense that there are a lot of father issues when the sun meets Chiron and when so many planets are still in Capricorn. A lot of us have been talking about the patriarchy and authority, and so father energy is definitely strong these days. So I did some work on my stuff. I met with a number of clients and we did a lot of really deep work. And that's definitely some of the beauty of right now, if you want to align and use the energies for good, is that if you work with someone that will help you go into the dark spaces, be it an astrologer, a psychologist, what have you, it is excellent timing to do that type of excavation work. And there's a massive amount of clarity that can come through and a massive amount of clearing that can come through. So I highly recommend that you take some time, so whatever modality is that calls to you, to do some of that. And I have so many different things to share with you today. I'm moving a little slow because I haven't been sleeping. And I wonder if you all have been sleeping for about the past 4 nights or so, since Mars went into Aquarius and Saturn went into Aquarius the week before. You know, Aquarius is air, so 2 of our heavy hitters left Capricorn, left the earth element that was so strong. That's still there, but there's less of it. And then early in the week we had that Gemini moon, so we had more air. And I'm just feeling some of the challenges. And to be honest, I spent a good chunk of this morning. First, we started with Sanctuary, which was beautiful. We started our April Sanctuary, which can still welcome you if that's something you'd like to be part of. It's my custom blend of meditation and Yogastrology. And that felt really good. Great crew on the call. That felt really grounding. We talked about lymphatic systems. We talked about all kinds of cool stuff. We did side plank pose. Anyway, that was a beautiful call. That felt really good. But then not long after that, I went into a place of anxiety. And so I have upped my tools for anxiety today. I have meditated twice. I am at the creek walking. I'm wearing my favorite scarf that reminds me of Sedona. I talked to a friend, I ate a lot of protein for lunch, I took a hot shower, and I'm hydrating. But I think the thing that helped me honestly most of all, out of everything, those things, none of them, they're all good. But recognizing that a friend had asked me a question that triggered me and sent me into this deep spiral of what's right and what's wrong. And I'm a Gemini moon in the 6th house with my South Node in the 6th house. And I'm the type of person that likes to know. I like to anticipate. I like to plan ahead. I like to feel like I know what's going on, where things are leading. And when I don't know, I can get insecure. And so I feel like it's really valuable for us all to have an awareness of our moon sign. And once I identified, oh shit, that's part of this anxiety, is not knowing. Once I identified that, I was like, you know what? I don't need to know everything. I don't need to have all of the answers. And I don't need to weigh all the right and wrong, feeling all that heavy Saturn. And that helped me just kind of set it down and let it go. So if you are spinning into a place of anxiety, there are lots of great tools. I named a bunch of them. And I want to add to your list having A relationship with your natal moon can be really helpful. And if that's something you'd like me to help you with, I would be more than happy to do so. And in fact, I have a project that's been on the back burner with that. And maybe it's time for me to bring that puppy out. So I've got like 5 pages of notes and 2 books for you and all kinds of things that I have in my hands here as we walk. And I want to talk to you first and foremost about the animal totem that keeps coming up this week is the wasp. My front porch, my back porch, when I go on my walks, I go up to a place where I call the dancing bench. I like to dance on that bench. My kitty likes to sit on that bench. And there are wasps under the bench. And so, you know, that feeling of nervousness and insecurity and am I safe and am I protected? Am I going to get stung? Am I going to get hurt? It's particularly big for me because I'm allergic to wasps and bees. And I have a quite severe reaction to them. And so it brings up a lot of first chakra issues. And I felt called back to a time, the summer of 2018, when I was in the south of France in a tiny little town called Clavier up on the top of a mountain. And on those roads, there's no guardrail. And I rented a car, I'm driving by myself. And it's those type of roads where if you back up too much, you plummet to your death. And so wasp has been bringing up the feeling of that summer for me. I was like, what's that about? And that summer, when I was in that tiny little town of Clavier, I was doing a huge amount of karmic clearing. And it was very uncomfortable and felt very dangerous, much like with the wasps. And I believe that that's what we're doing right now. One of you put a comment on my personal profile saying, I feel like I've been sent to my room. We have. We've all been sent to our room. That's Saturn weighing down on us saying, sit down and think about what you've done right and what you've done wrong, what needs recalibrated. Personally, as a collective, what do you need to clear? Where do you have to make reprimands? Or am I saying the word correctly? I think you know what I mean. So where do you need to kind of balance things out? So there's definitely that energy. A lot of Saturn energy. Another friend said, he was off from work today, and I said, are you going to do something fun? And he says, what's fun? And it's true. We're in this space right now with so much Saturn where it's not so much about fun, you know. Although, I have to admit, April Fool's Day, I did manage a really good prank with my child, and she totally fell for it, and that made me really smile. So there are little glimmers of light here and there. But I want to take you back to wasp for a second, and then I'm going to give you some dates and some energies of the sky. Hold up while I flip to my wasp page. Okay. So I went to about 3 different websites to do some research on wasp. Shape-shifting, interdependence, yet solitary, construction, development, involvement, order, productivity, progress, reason, unexpected, warrior, remain tough and strong, resistance to change is sabotage. I was like, wow, that sounds like a lot of the energies that we're working with. A lot of the Capricorn Saturnian energies, a lot of the Aquarius energies, the Mars energies. And so I thought that that might be useful. And now I want to take a minute to talk about where we've been the past couple days, what this week is like, what this 10-day period is like. You know, this last half of March into the very beginning of April is just absolutely epic. Are you coming? Okay, my kitty's coming with me. So it started about 10 days ago. I'm going to flip back. When Saturn entered Aquarius. So Saturn changed signs. And I talked a little bit about that in the last video. That was March 21st. And then Mars entered Aquarius. That was just this past Monday, the 30th. Tuesday, the 31st, which was just yesterday, Mars and Saturn came together. This Friday, the 3rd, Mercury and Neptune come together. And then Saturday, the 4th, Jupiter and Pluto come together. Holy shit, people, that is a lot going on. Like, a lot. So, Saturn entering Aquarius, Mars and Saturn coming together. Right around then, a couple days ago, when Mars entered Aquarius and bumped up against Saturn, that's when I live in Virginia and our governor said that shelter in place is extended until June 10th. So that feeling of restriction, Saturn, more social distancing, Saturn in Aquarius. So Aquarius is interesting. Let's take a minute to talk about Aquarius because Mars is there now, Saturn's there now on top of each other. And that's not comfortable to begin with. And Aquarius is the energy. I love my Aquarian people. I swear to you, the best conversations I ever have are with my Aquarius people. And I can even tell, like I was talking to a Capricorn friend of mine. He and I had the most incredible conversation. I don't even know his chart. I know that he has a lot of Aquarius or 11th house in his chart because phenomenal thinkers. Love the way Aquarius thinks outside the box. What I find with a lot of Aquarian folks is they tend to be very interested in community. They tend to pour a liquid because Aquarius is the sign of the water bearer. So often you'll find tea ceremonialists. You'll find people that pour wine, different beverages in order to bring people together. But the irony, the paradox, is that they actually don't want to get that close to humans. They actually want to stay somewhat detached. And when they get too close, they get kind of allergic and they back off and they distance themselves. So you can really apply that to the social distancing happening with Mars and Saturn in Aquarius. And so, Aquarius is about also everything that is forward thinking and progressive in technology. And you can see how huge technology is these days. Now, when Mars goes into Aquarius and Mars gets pissed off, that person with that energy says, fuck this, I'm going in the other direction. And they just split. They just separate. So that's what Mars wants to do. Mars wants to get out of town. They wants to separate. It doesn't want to stick around and be diplomatic. And that's what Aquarius does. Is it also just says, if this is too simple-minded for me, I'm out of here. If this is too old, I'm out of here. I want whatever is refined. I want whatever is upgraded. So I think we're going to see that we're entering into a period where there are a lot of upgrades. There is a lot happening with technology. There is a lot happening to better humanity, but from a very neutral, detached standpoint. So we've got all of that. And then what else? Sudden, unexpected changes, being asked to pivot. I'm watching fights around ethics and morality, so seeing Mars-Saturn come together. Also Mars-Saturn, you might feel like you're getting somewhere, like you're making some progress on a project or something that you've been working on. And then all of a sudden the brakes are put on. So there can be frustration. And there can also be a sense of pressure. And, along with frustration can come disappointment too. So Mars-Saturn is not the easiest thing to work through. And then on top of all that, we've got Mercury and Neptune, which are coming together on Friday, which we're already feeling. So we're not seeing clearly. We are seeing with rose-colored glasses. We are operating under fantasy. And so not only do we have all these other transits that are challenging, but it's like we don't really know what we want or where to go, or we're being swept away by emotion. So it could be a time where it's like a tidal wave of emotion. So it's a really important time to ground and not to make decisions, especially if they're big decisions, especially if it involves right and wrong. like the thing that I was thinking about this morning. So give yourself some time until you get clear, until it settles. So that's coming on Friday. And then on Saturday, Jupiter and Pluto. So they've been getting closer and closer, inching together. And Jupiter-Pluto last came together the fall of 2007, winter of 2008. So if you think back to that time, or like me, you have a child born then who has those natal planets in their chart, you are very familiar with Jupiter-Pluto. Another way to look at Jupiter-Pluto is look back to when Jupiter was in Scorpio, which was 2018, when the Me Too movement came out and we were all doing a lot of excavation. So when you put Jupiter and Pluto together, keep in mind that Pluto and Saturn are close together. We're working with a lot of abuse of power. So we've been seeing a lot leak out about people that have done bad shit, and the comeuppance is happening. So that is also something that happens with Mars-Saturn, because there is this desire to fight, this desire for punishment, this desire for retribution around people that have karma coming to them. To circle back to Jupiter-Pluto, Jupiter amplifies whatever it touches. Pluto brings intensity. It breaks shit down. And on a personal level, the way you may feel it is you may fixate on a person or situation and get very scorpionic and obsessive about it and play it over and over in your mind. So, lovely. Fixated, obsessive, not seeing clearly, feeling punished, wanting to punish, etc., etc. All of that to say, this is one doozy of a week. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to the people around you. If you can get outside for a walk like I just did and get some energy out, it can feel really good. I hope this was helpful for you. Please drop me a line. Let me know how you're doing. And if you guys want in on Sanctuary, if you want in on a consult, let me know. Also, I'll be doing a full moon women's circle for the Libra full moon coming next week. Sending more information about that soon. Okay, many blessings. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.